This is your girl Tracy, and today I will be doing a follow-up on my video that I share about my explosive life experience. So, and the reason why I'm doing the follow-up is because I've had questions. What was the outcome of the relationship? What happened thereafter? My learning about my dates being HIV positive. So, before further ado, like I love to and always like to remind you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please don't forget, turn your notification buttons on. So, without further ado, I will be happy to explain and to tell and to share what happened thereafter. So let's get into it. So after him sharing with me that he was HIV positive, and again, this was a gentleman who I had to communicate with using a relay service because of his disability. So after I was told the news, I became very frantic. I was shocked. My nerves were shattered, like I've explained. Like it was a feeling that I knew that I've never felt like that before, and I knew I've never felt like that after, ever in my life. So can you imagine that feeling, a feeling like that? It was very, very bad. It was nerve-wracking. So after him telling me about his illness, I came off the phone. I was crying. I was very upset. I was very sad. And I rushed myself to the emergency room. When I got there, the emergency room was packed with people. And let me tell you, I run to that desk, the welcome area, the welcome desk. And I just start explaining what happened loudly. And everybody in that emergency room waiting area could hear every word. There were people with their mouths on the floor. There were people who were very sympathetic. You could hear the gasp in the room. You could hear the quietness. It was all different emotions going around through the room, the waiting area. However, I explained to them, the questions were like, okay, what happened, what was the nature of our relationship. I did explain to them, okay, we did not have any form of sexual intercourse, and what happened, we were just doing smooches there on dates, yada, 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 and whatever. So all of a sudden, my situation was no longer dire. It was now, okay, we will do for you a HIV test, but we can almost sure and can almost positive to say to you, you do not have HIV. It's not possible for you to be contract HIV from kissing. Well, now I know that, but back then I did not, because I was not educated. I wasn't privy to all that information. I was just a young girl coming from Jamaica, trying to find a better life in the country, in the United States. And here I am. This was basically my very first date, guy that I was dating, and this is what happened. So you can imagine how frantic I was. Anyways, I did the HIV test. I was negative. I believe it was the following day. I reached out to him and I explained to him, and I said to him, I explained to him how I felt, how disappointed I was, how hurt I was about him not sharing the information with me. And he decided, okay, can I come and see you? I'm like, okay. So I did let him come over and we had a long talk. And I did explain to him, I don't think we can continue, but I can be your friend. And he blew a lid. When I say he blew a lid, he blew a lid. He was so upset. And I remember the words that came out of his mouth. And one of them that I will never forget, that drove fear, exactly like the fear that came, that sent through me was like, it was a fear of God when he said to me, I wish that I did not say anything to you. I wish I didn't say anything because I should have followed what my sister said. She told me never to say it to you. She told me never to tell you. And I knew it. I knew it. I should have listened. And I'm telling you, the fear I felt, because now I become afraid of, and I'm thinking, dear God, who is going to be the next victim? You know, that's what came through my head at the time. You know, dear God, like, what is going to happen to the next person that he meets? And I can say, all I did was just, I stood there and I tried my best to reassure him that it's going to be okay. I tried my best to encourage him. Please don't you ever say you will not share this information again with anybody, because I'm not walking away from you because you're HIV positive. I'm walking away because I am not educated enough to continue a relationship with you because you're HIV positive. It has nothing to do with you as an individual. It has everything to do with my health and your health. So therefore, it's not a personal thing. For me, it's a health decision that I have to make for myself, because I don't have enough information to continue the relationship. And I don't want to string you along. I don't want to give you the wrong ideas. Anyways, he was still upset. He started to cry. He was very hurt. And I started to cry as well. And it was like a come to Jesus moment, you know? But long and short of the story, we remained friends for a while, for, you know, maybe about 3 months. We were still friends. We were no longer dating, but he would still come by and say hello. You know, we would hang out, we'd laugh, you know, and I would ask him, oh, do you meet somebody, or yada, yada, yada. But he would never say to me if he had met somebody or not. But after that period of time, it's like our communication got lesser and lesser. And we just never spoke again. But I wish I had the knowledge or the education that I've had now, because the outcome of that relationship would have been different. Because I can tell you that this guy was very smart, he was very intelligent, he knew what he wanted, he knew what he was about. He had a situation together, you know, and he was never a liability. But if I had known, if I was educated like I am now, the outcome of the relationship would have been different. Because I believe in my heart now that I would have given him a chance. But like I said, I don't have regrets. And I don't live with regrets. I live by my experiences. And all my experiences has made me who I am today. And I'm very, very, very happy that I've gone through that experience, because that experience taught me, you know, how to approach all the other people that I've ever dated and any other relationship that I've approached with caution, and not only with caution, with listen, we are going down to the doctor's office because this is what's going to happen, you know? So long and short again of this story, and the moral of the story is to anybody, please make sure that whenever you meet somebody, make sure that you ask the questions that need to be had. And not only ask the questions, get your proof on paper. Go to the doctor. Get all your STD checks done, you know. And if someone is becoming insultive, or they're not reciprocating the same request for you, you know, you can walk away too. Because listen, irregardless, you may be saying, okay, I don't have, and he's saying you don't have, he doesn't have anything, vice versa. Listen, you have to make sure you get your regular STD checks on a regular basis. It is very important to check yourselves, whether you're in a monogamous relationship, Whether you're in a polyamorous relationship, whether you're just dating casually, whether you're just whatever you're doing or whatever it is, as long as you are sexually active, you should get yourself checked for all the STDs that is out there. Regardless of what, you only know yourself. You do not know who your partner is. You can only know someone to an extent, but you will never fully know your partner, or your partner will never fully know who you are. So therefore, I will urge you, once you're in a relationship, ensure that you go to the doctor and you get your regular STD checks. It's the very same thing like you're going to the doctor to do your yearly physical. Ensure that you add that in there too. You know, some doctors may not add your HIV test because you have to consent to having that done. But all I'm encouraging you to do is to ensure that you do your regular STD checks. And don't discriminate against someone who has an STD or who has the disability with HIV. Don't do that. All you have to do is become educated. If that's the case, educate yourself. HIV does not kill you. It's a complication of HIV. And if you do not take care of yourself, that is when your situation becomes dire. So like I said, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please turn your notification buttons on. Remember, you hear it first. Ta-da! See you in my next video.